Click over.
Oops, duh.
You got it?
Yeah, now I got it. Whoops. Can you hear us now?
We're just testing to see if you're paying attention out there.
Yeah, there we go. Sure, we meant to do that.
Let me see your driver's license if you're going to drive that laptop. You're qualified.
Guess I have to go back to school. All right. So, yeah, we're going to get started here in a couple minutes.
Yes.
And you didn't get to hear Grimm's amazing singing.
Just hanging out. Huh. Hanging out with the family. Having ourselves a party. Hanging out. Huh.
Anyone that remembers that from Riff Tracks, one of the movies they
Name
hosted.
that movie that song was in, if you know.
Yes.
You don't win. You win a no prize. I think Stan Lee sent us a bunch of those.
A no prize?
Yeah, you remember that?
So it was really like nothing. A no prize.
It was a no prize, if you know.
Okay.
That it was a Stan Lee Marvel Comics thing.
Well, that's funny.
I think they would send you an envelope with nothing in it. I think our friend Tom has one of those.
Oh, jeez.
He won a no prize. Yeah.
Birdemic, says Seth Martin.
Boom!
He won the no prize.
Seth's on the money.
Seth got it. That's funny. Okay, so Bargain Barons are here.
Oh,
yay!
wow,
Our favorite YouTubers. Yeah, well, they're probably a couple hours behind us.
Oh.
Maybe 3 hours? I'm not sure what time
So it's
zone
like 5
you guys
o'clock
are
in the afternoon there or something?
Might be, I don't know.
I'm not good at mathing, so I don't know.
All right. Invisible prices, Neil. Yeah.
Yeah.
The no prize.
It's invisible.
Round 2. It's almost 10 p.m. here, says Bargain Barons.
Oh, no.
So they're an hour behind.
Just an hour, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that's not that bad.
There you go. Yeah, check out the Bargain Barons for some really cool. Man, some of the videos they've been posting lately are really entertaining. They always are, but
yeah,
some of those finds are great.
That painting was really cool, and they found some other cool stuff recently.
The flower vase, the vase of flowers, the original painting.
It was an original painting worth a good chunk of money.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We were screaming. Go ahead.
You go ahead.
But there was a Weeble on the table.
Yeah, they didn't buy the Weeble
for $1.
Weebles are very valuable,
but they don't really resell like that.
Well,
so.
Yeah, but there's a lot of Weeble collectors.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
somebody would have probably given me $5 for it.
That's something I would have bought to put on.
I would just want to keep it because I used to have Weebles.
All right, so let's get started. Let's start this thing.
I got a pretzel in my mouth. It's like snack toys. Hey everybody, welcome to another exciting episode, at least we hope it's going to be exciting, of
The Mummy and the Monkeys, Harry Scary Hangover. Oh, it's our after show, chat show. This is our chat show that we host after we host a movie for the evening. We chat about different topics.
Yeah, we don't get enough, so we just like to keep the party going. It's kind of like, it could be considered kind of a wrap-up type show if we wanted to talk about what went down on the episode, on the Hangover or the Hangout.
Yeah.
But you have topics tonight.
Yes. So okay, it's February. It's so there's a couple things going on.
February is half over. We know it's February.
I know we're in February, and yeah, it is half over.
Whew, but can't believe it.
It goes by quick.
It do.
And it's a shorter month.
It is.
But there's a couple things that I thought would be cool to talk about.
Okay.
So February is Black History Month, and February is also Women in Horror Month.
Oh.
So there's a lot of great actresses that we could talk about. There's a lot of great actors that we could talk about that are, some of them are very iconic, and they're African American, and they had some really cool roles in some horror films that a lot of people love.
Right.
So I thought it'd be great to talk about all of those things. Because we love all of it,
Right.
we think it's really cool.
Pay homage.
Yeah.
That makes sense to the show,
Yeah, very cool. Okay, so one that really stands out, and it was the first time.
Now, are we talking about Black History Month or?
Well,
I mean, actors and actresses in horror movies.
We're going to start with the actor Dwayne Jones from Night of the Living Dead.
Oh yeah.
We're going to start there because I'm pretty sure, according to what I've been reading, he was the first African American actor to star and be the hero in a horror film. And George Romero cast him in the film because I have his quote, "Race was not a factor in casting. He was the best actor we met to play Ben." So Dwayne Jones played the character of Ben in the original Night of the Living Dead from 1968.
Great part.
And he was the hero. He was the good guy trying to save everybody and fight off the zombies. It's such a cool movie, and it's still one of my favorite zombie movies to this day.
Yes, and casting is an art form in itself. I mean, there are so many movies that, and some of it's objective or subjective, I should say. When you're, but I think casting really goes a long way. I don't know if a lot of it's really taken that seriously in some movies, but. Yeah, I mean, when you think of that movie, was it Dawn of the Dead?
Night of the Living Dead. The original Night of the Living Dead from 1968.
Right. Now there's so much going on with that. That movie pioneered so much in so many ways.
It was also the first horror film that kind of set... Like, they didn't call them zombies in the movie. I think they called them ghouls or...
Those things.
Stuff
like that, yeah.
One guy said they're dead, they're all messed up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like, they didn't even call them zombies in the movie. But that movie set the tone for...
The flesh-eating zombies.
Yeah. Because prior to that, in horror films, it was like the voodoo type of zombies.
Right. And
which those are cool, too. There's some movies about voodoo zombies that are really neat, too. But the flesh-eating zombies have really gotten popular in with the horror fans and with pop culture and stuff.
There's no spoilers with this movie, hopefully. I think everyone's seen this movie. The ending was even very controversial, which I thought was very, the
ending was sad. I was rooting for Ben, and obviously the zombies get everybody in the movie. Spoiler alert.
And the people get the people. And I mean, to me,
and
it was
then
like
some of the people were attacking the other people, and there were some hotheads and people arguing about stuff.
Yeah, and that's what exactly people, and that's what The Walking Dead obviously has a lot of. I mean, everything pulls from that. Everybody flipping out. And who's the real enemy? The dead things out there, or the people around you who are all freaking out about surviving this? Yeah, so it's all of it. So
So some info. Some info about Dwayne Jones. He was from New York. He went to college in Pittsburgh and New York University. So he also worked with the Peace Corps, and he created an English language program to help people from overseas learn English with the Peace Corps. So he would travel like back and forth for the shooting. He was on Night of the Living Dead kind of in between his college stuff. And I was trying to think if there was other... yes, here it is. He was in a few other movies, which I have not seen, but I need to. Ganja and Hess from 1973.
Ganja?
Ganja?
Ganja, that's...
Yeah,
weed.
Ganja and Hess, that's the name of the movie.
Huh.
And then Beat Street from 1984.
He was in Beat Street?
He was in Beat Street.
Beat Street.
According to the internet.
That beat up and down the street. Beat Street, it's a lesson too. You gonna talk over me doing my Beat Street beatbox?
I didn't. I didn't. I let you do your thing.
Yeah, I didn't know that. What the heck's he in? I gotta see that.
We'll have to see what role he plays in that.
I'm pretty sure I have Beat Street on tap. So
he was in a couple more movies, and he pursued theater. Theater was his thing. He really was into that.
If you're gonna make an adult movie version of Beat Street, what would you call it?
Dwayne. Oh gosh.
I don't know. Go ahead.
Let's not get into that, or we'll lose our YouTube channel.
Just go off on that. Let me ponder that for a while.
Or lose the
Beat Street in the adult movie.
Don't get too vulgar there, Graham. Okay.
No, this is all theater of the mind. Go ahead.
So he went back to New York and worked in theater, live shows. He didn't do the movies so much after that. Oh. But the Dwayne Jones Recital Hall at the State of University in New York was named after him.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Because he was so involved and it made a big impact. And the Walking Dead comics character Dwayne Jones was named after him.
And nobody...
So isn't that cool?
It's very little known, but the way he passed away, the way he died, is he rejoined the Peace Corps as an older gentleman and went over to an island where there was a tribe of people that were isolated, and they were cannibals, and they wound up eating them. He tried to teach them some stuff, and they ate them. It was weird. Like, it was kind of...
He's making that up.
Of course. It's like drunk history.
Yeah.
No, I'm not sure how the man passed, but God bless him.
He did pass away kind of young. I think something with his heart.
Oh.
So
yeah, that's what I thought.
Unfortunately, he died kind of young.
But wow, good for him. That and like I said, you know what? That's funny too, because when I watched that, he reminds me of Johnny Mathis too. When I was a little kid watching that, because my mom had Johnny Mathis record albums.
Oh yeah,
and he had that kind of a look. He had the almost the same kind of hairdo. and kind of that slight sort of face, and
Ah.
I don't know. It reminded me of Johnny Mathis fighting zombies. I loved it.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Chances are that I'll blow your zombie head into the next room if you do. Go ahead.
So we'll get into the next actor that I want to discuss, and then we'll read some comments on our YouTube, if you guys are watching us on YouTube.
Is anybody liking my commentary? I don't know. Am I being diplomatic?
Some people are laughing.
Okay,
so Tony Todd.
Yes.
He played the Candyman from 1992. The original Candyman. Did that remake ever come out?
It did. And
I haven't even seen it.
Some people
yet.
liked it. I didn't hear anything that negative about it. But to me, it's like, again, why remake? It's like when they remake Nightmare on Elm Street. Come up with a new character. You don't have to remake stuff that, especially something marginally popular as I don't think Candyman ever
I thought
really
it was
took
good
off.
on it. I know it has a cult following. It got mixed reviews when it first came out, but it has a cult following now with all the horror film fans. So it's a great supernatural film about urban legends. It's a ghost story.
Right.
This ghost comes back and gets people. So Tony Todd was also a Star Trek actor. He played Kern in The Next Generation and Deep Space Nine.
Oh, my.
And what's really cool, he played Ben in the Night of the Living Dead remake from 1990.
Oh, wow.
Not that Ben, but the Ben from Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
That we just talked about.
That makes sense. Tony Todd, there you go.
Yeah, so I thought that was cool. Ooh.
Sexy.
And the Candyman was creepy. Like, that movie had some really creepy parts. So he did an amazing job playing this super creepy ghost guy.
Okay.
And his sister is Monique Dupree. She's a burlesque dancer, a B-movie actress, and a model.
Interesting. I don't know who that is. I have to look her up.
Oh, I think I'm Facebook friends with her. But yeah, she is she also did modeling for Troma.
Oh.
So she's technically the first African-American female to be a Tromette.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Okay, and let's read some comments.
Yes, please do. It's an interactive show.
Yeah.
So let's interact. Should I start singing again?
Rebel Ghoul loves the Candyman. She said, I don't know if I have celebrity crushes, but Tony in the original Candyman. So she's a fan.
I thought that Sammy Davis Jr. was the Candyman. Who could take that?
Van Ciatra
meat hook?
says, that's all good conversation, but what the fans really want to know is what is in your cups. They want to know what we're drinking.
What do you have?
I have water. Just water. I know, I'm boring, right?
Yeah, I have Appleton Estate rum with Coke in it.
Oh, apple. Is it like apple flavored?
Appleton Estates. No.
Oh.
No. It's rum flavored.
Oh, that's not fun. I thought it would have been apple
It's actually
flavored
good.
since
It's
apple's in the name.
It's actually good on it. This is the name of the estate. It's Jamaican, but it has you can sip this. It's a sipper. You don't even need to cut it with anything. It's very good on its own. But I only had a little bit left, so I thought I'd kind of try to make it last a little bit with a little Coke. Just a little nightcap, nothing crazy.
And Sears James says Rudy Ray Moore Jr. Dolomite, great movies and actor and director.
Yeah,
the Dolomite movies are amazing.
But he did a horror movie called Petey Wheatstraw, the Devil's Son-in-Law.
Oh.
Petey Wheatstraw, the Devil's Son-in-Law.
I don't think I watched that.
We have it.
We have it, but I haven't seen it yet.
It's not as good as Dolomite. It's weird, but yeah, it's a sort of a horror comedy movie.
And Eastside Motel 6, that's funny. I need to see the Night of the Living Dead remake again. I haven't seen it in decades. I don't remember if I've seen the remake.
Which one?
From 1990.
Oh, there's a lot of them. We might even have that.
But Tony Todd's in the remake. He plays Ben.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to see it for that.
We have a remake, too. Is it the one with Sid Haig? And it might be.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. There's so many different takes on Night of the Living Dead.
That's why I asked. Because
and then there was Return of the Living Dead, and that movie's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so... and
Did they have the receipt?
For what?
Return of the Living Dead? Or was it like Sears that it doesn't matter, you don't need a receipt? Anyway.
Bargain Baron says, rum and Coke, my favorite highball.
It is good. I haven't had it in a while. It's nice.
Okay, so the next actor I want to bring up is Wesley Snipes.
Oh.
Because he played Blade, the character Blade from the movie Blade from 1998.
A horror superhero movie.
A horror superhero movie.
I love me some Blade.
Marvel Comics, their first... Technically, it's their first comic book movie, and it's also a horror movie.
Superhero, yes.
So he's a Dampier. He's half human, half vampire.
He's a daywalker.
He's a daywalker, yes. And he is getting the bad vampires. He's out hunting them down, and there's this blood and carnage and fighting and action-packed.
I love all three movies.
It's so cool.
The first one is the best, but they're all three fun. I mean,
yeah.
To me, it's they play it, to what it is. They don't go outside the boundaries. They didn't try to make it more than it should have been. So, I mean, I could just pop those in and just enjoy them, and I've seen them multiple times. The third one's interesting, Trinity, because it has Ryan Reynolds, who's basically Deadpool, no matter what he does.
So he's just always Deadpool.
Yeah, or people are gonna probably say, what was that movie he was in, Van Wilder or whatever it was, when he was a National Lampoon movie.
Yeah, I
he
didn't
played like
see
a college guy that never left college. He this whole thing was to stay in college forever because he wanted to stay in the frat.
Oh, okay.
It's a funny premise.
That does sound funny. Yeah, to just stay there forever.
But he's always a wisecracker and a wiseacre. He just can't help not doing that. Even those Mint Mobile commercials. It's Deadpool selling cell phones. I mean, it's how he sounds.
Yeah.
I don't know he could do anything else but sound like that. But,
so it's such a fun movie. Yeah. It's also very 1990s.
Oh, I didn't watch Buffy. I saw the Buffy movie.
Oh yeah, Buffy. I like Buffy,
which was good. I mean, it was.
But that was, it was made for TV and it was geared more towards.
No, I saw the movie. I never watched.
The movie and the TV shows were kind of goofy but fun.
But they were doing the ashing in that, right? When you stab a vampire.
Yeah, and they just go. Yeah.
I never saw that until I saw Blade, and that blew my mind to see people.
That did look cool, right?
Ash skeleton everywhere, and and it was just like, he was basically the Jason Voorhees of vampire killers. Because he had like a billion different ways to kill these things.
Yeah, and he just kept going after them.
And Whistler played by Chris Christopherson.
Oh yeah,
come here, Blade.
Yeah, he was cool, like the gruffy guy.
Yeah, the guy that would
he had like
make
the
weapons.
Yeah,
he made the weapons for Blade. Mm-hmm. But he raised Blade too. But I love those movies because they are what they are. They don't try to be too much. Wesley Snipes has like 3 lines in the whole movie, but you don't care.
It's fun.
Everything is like a sort of a tagline or we call it like a
kind of like the Arnold one-liner,
like a phrase, but,
stuff like that.
But but it's good, yeah. Good. I didn't know you had that on your. This is all new to me. Keep going.
I had that on there, and then Wesley's is also he was a karate master. So
he's martial arts.
He's been studying martial arts since he was 12 years old. Yes. Isn't that wild?
The guy's built like a brick, what house. I mean,
he's got like some type of crazy like black belt in karate and many different levels where he was studying martial arts.
Horrible at his finances though. Didn't pay his taxes unfortunately, and that destroyed him.
That's no good.
Yeah. They should have paid a little more attention to paying them taxes. I know it sucks. Yeah. I mean, if you think your taxes stink, can you imagine being a millionaire and those hundreds of thousands or millions you have to cough up? But you got to do it.
All right. So let's read some comments here. There is a remake to Blade. We haven't seen it yet.
I know. I don't. But but the cool. So okay. But Marvel is I don't want to get into this whole shag, but I think I've heard say that they might somehow Wesley Snipes will be an actual Blade. Like they're doing the multiple Earth things now. Oh. That's the new Fantastic Four movie. They're setting it up like that, which is brilliant.
Yeah, and that's new. That's news that they just dropped on Valentine's Day. That they are working on a new Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah, June
and hopefully it'll be good.
It sounds like they're doing it right. They're going to do it set in 1963 in an alternate Earth. Which is fine. And there's going to be time travel, so they'll be able to interact with the current Marvel, the MCU. Perfect. I mean, because you need to see these guys set in the 60s. Yeah. The Incredibles beat them to the punch. Okay? That movie did. That's basically the Fantastic Four movie, okay? And it, but with the swanky, retro, artwork style, set in the music.
Wiki Bobby says the new Blade movie comes out next year. I thought it was already out.
No.
Okay, I'm mistaken.
Oh, we would have saw it if it was already out.
Yeah. I guess okay.
But
I messed that up.
They did have a TV show they did with a version of Blade. I'm trying to remember who played him. A rapper, but it was okay. It couldn't. It was just too. It wasn't as good as the Wesley Snipes. It's kind of hard to beat that to me because he's Blade to me. He's my Blade. Yeah. Love him.
Okay, and then people are asking if Lisa Frankenstein is good. I guess that's a new show that's out. I think it's I think it's more for kids or something.
Don't know.
I'll have to look it up to see what it is.
I know Lisa Frank.
Yeah.
I don't know Lisa Frank.
And then several people, like James Muscarella and a few others, mentioned Blackula, William Marshall. So we're going to talk about him in a little bit. But right now we've got, so Pam Grier.
Ooh.
Everyone loves Pam Grier.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she's a beautiful lady, a wonderful actress. And she was in a ton of 1970s, like exploitation, blaxploitation films, action movies, the Roger Corman cheesy movies.
She did it all.
Quentin Tarantino said that she was cinema's first female action star. And she was...
Take that.
She was Lisa in Scream, Blackula Scream, in the Blackula sequel.
Scream, Blackula, Scream.
And she also played a character in The Twilight People from 1971. It's a Filipino movie. I think she plays like a cat creature in that movie.
She's barely in that one, but yeah.
Yeah, but she is in that one. So she's in several horror films.
Oh, yeah.
But she was in a ton of action movies. The movie Coffee I really liked that she was in.
Mm-hmm.
I liked that one. And 1970s mostly, and then she was in some documentaries recently, and in some other movies recently.
Yeah, Pam. Yeah, and what can you say? Pam Grier. Man.
Yeah, Pam Grier is awesome, and she's still around. She's 74, and she still looks great.
Was she a trauma? Was that the Scream Queen?
No,
a different one.
No, that was Monique Dupree.
That's right.
Yes, Pam Grier's the 1970s actress.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And rock and roll says Raquel Welch was before Pam Grier. Yeah, there were lots of people.
We're talking about Black History Month and African American,
and then also female actresses too
as well. It's a mix.
It's a mix of things. So Raquel Welch was awesome too. They were both awesome and had their own style. They each had their own unique style.
Their own sexy, yes.
Yeah, they were both sexy. Okay, so William Marshall.
Who's she?
This one's a dude.
Oh.
William Marshall. He was Blackula. He was also in the sequel, Scream, Blackula, Scream. He starred in both movies.
Scream, Blackula, Scream.
He was also... Who remembers Pee-wee's Playhouse? He was the king of cartoons in Pee-wee's Playhouse.
I can't cartoons.
And he was in an episode of the original Star Trek. Mm. He was Dr. Richard Daystrom.
Oh.
Yeah, so he was in an episode of that.
That's what I thought.
So he was in Scream, Blackula Scream with Pam Grier.
Scream, Blackula, Scream. Let's imagine that song.
It wasn't a musical.
No, but there was a Cheese, Glorious Cheese. There's a commercial from the 80s, I think. That's what that sounds like. It kind of fits that. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe they did make it into a musical.
No, they should, though. Blackula the musical?
Yeah, I mean, they make musicals of everything.
Yeah, that was an unoriginal time.
There was Evil Dead the musical.
In comics and in movies, where if there was an African-American portraying the character, it would be black. The only thing that, we talked about this with a friend of ours, Black Panther makes sense because it's based on a Black Panther, an animal. But, like if you have lightning powers, you're Black Lightning. If you have, everything about black, there was a black character, African-American character in Marvel Comics. That stole I think he had he could grow real big, and he was called Black Goliath. It was just like you put black in front. Well, and I know why they did that.
If I had to guess,
signify the power, use the name for empowerment for the character. I get that.
Yeah.
But Blackula, like I always thought, if there was a Puerto Rican vampire, would he be Puerto Ricanula? Spanishula.
There was a Spanish Dracula.
Hispacula.
They didn't know. They didn't go with that.
But why not? Why? It's the same idea, right?
But they used the exact same set as the original Dracula, like the Hollywood Dracula.
But they didn't call it. They called it Dracula.
It was like the Mexican Dracula or something.
They didn't call him Mexican.
No, they just called it Dracula. No, it wasn't like.
I'm saying, I know why they did it. And I'm kind of trying to be funny at the same time here.
Yeah.
But it is interesting how they how that was sort of just for that. And I know why. It was supposed to be a positive spin on the characters. Mm-hmm. And in that movie, you know who gave him that name?
I don't remember.
Dracula.
Oh, he named him that.
After he bit the guy, he goes, "I call you Blackula." So it's Dracula. So he's the unoriginal guy, Blackula.
Well, hey.
Couldn't think of anything else.
You know, it was the 1970s. It was, you know, it was what it was.
He was so egotistical. He had to have, it has to sound like my name. And black and drac, they rhyme, so, it's perfect.
Hey.
Weird.
You know, those movies were better than Blackenstein, so.
No, again, not...
Yeah. So let's read a few comments, and then we can talk about the some of the Scream Queen actresses for the Women in Horror Month. We're going to celebrate that as well. We're celebrating all of it.
Yeah, sometimes Hollywood's not known for its originality.
Not always. Sure, yeah. Not always. Ed Burge says Pam Grier's hot, hot, hot.
Creature from the Black Lagoon. What? No, wait a minute.
No, wait a minute. Coffee and Foxy Brown.
Foxy Brown, yeah.
Yeah, she was in Foxy Brown.
Those are okay. I mean, those are all like sort of big studio pictures.
Like action type of movies.
I like the low budget, independent, if you again, blaxploitation, like Dolomite and Velvet Smooth.
Yeah.
There's so many good ones.
So it's all history now.
Yes.
Yeah. David Phillips says
her story.
It shows a time changing culture and it is part of a sociological history.
It is, and I get it. I'm explaining it, but I just think it's just like
Mofei Chen, Wiki Bobby says in the Spanish Dracula they used possums as rats. So
what?
Maybe he meant they used possums instead of rats, or the possums played rats.
Oh. They
when they showed the rats, they were actually possums,
and not American,
and not actual rats.
Maybe they have more possums over there.
I don't know.
Maybe that's scarier. I don't know.
Yeah,
interesting.
Maybe to make them look bigger or scary. I don't know. Because possums some people think they're kind of scary or weird looking.
I'm surprised
they're cute.
They didn't put a big mustache and a sombrero on Spanish Dracula.
Oh my goodness.
Why not?
I'm glad they didn't. I'm glad things are getting better with that stuff.
Oh God, are they?
Yes, mostly.
They are.
Mostly. We're getting there.
We're getting there. It's only been 100 years.
So let's switch gears and we're going to talk about Scream Queens.
Okay. Another issue with female equality, and this is... Then why is this getting political?
Well, it's not. That has nothing to do with politics.
I know,
it's about social and how people were treated or mistreated.
Yes.
And we don't get into politics.
So
here.
this is what now? This other focus is what now?
Scream Queens.
Yes.
Horror film actresses, because
you are a Scream Queen.
February is Women in Horror Month.
And you are a trauma Scream Queen.
Technically, yes.
Yes, you are.
Because I was in the movie Revenge of the Spacemen.
Janet J was.
And Trauma has distributed that film.
So you are a trauma Scream Queen.
I guess so. I guess I get that punk rock street cred.
Yes, you do.
Okay. So one of the first Scream Queens. Let's go way back in time. Way back in time. 1933. King Kong.
Oh my God.
Fay Wray.
Whoo!
Fay Wray.
That scream.
The original Scream Queen.
She could scream.
She was a gorgeous actress.
That's what got her the job.
And that's what got her the job, because of her wonderful scream.
She was a screamer.
She was. Okay. And she plays the character Ann Darrow in the original 1933.
Ann Darrow.
Ann Darrow. Darrow?
Darrow. It's
Darrow.
Tomato.
Tomato.
Not
Ann Darrow.
Darrow.
Ann
like
Darrow.
Arrow.
Okay.
Yeah, just saying.
So that was her character name, Ann Darrow in 1933's King Kong. And she was also in Dr. X from 1932, Mystery of the Wax Museum from 1933, and The Most Dangerous Game from 1932.
Which they used the same King Kong sets for that movie. The jungle sets.
I think she was in some other movies too, but those are the horror-themed films that she was in.
Yeah. If you've never seen The Most Dangerous Game from, was it 1920? Was it
33? Or no, 32.
Do yourself a favor, check that out. It's because you'll totally recognize the King Kong sets, the jungle sets, because it's set on an island, a sort of a deserted, or an island that's off on its own where this guy hunts people basically. Yeah, that's The Most Dangerous Game.
Yeah, it's a pre. Those are, and all the movies I mentioned are considered pre-code. It was before the Hays Code. And
David Hays Code?
No.
He was responsible for that?
I knew you were going to do that joke. Inside joke.
We love you, David. Just kidding.
But no, they just, they had a different feel to them than when you look at those films compared to some of the 1940s films.
Yeah, they dried them all up. They took all of the...
Yeah. Because the original, And that's a whole nother thing. But like the original Dracula, Frankenstein, those were all pre-code. Bride of Frankenstein.
Boy,
and they just had such a cool style to them.
Creepy. Yeah. And then after the Hays Code, everything was sort of like second thought. And it sounds like they cleaned things up. Everything was that sort of, polished and we're going to get in trouble if we don't do it this way type of feel. That's why those old Universal movies, like you're saying, they're really creepy. They have a different creep to them.
And then later on, some of those Universal monster sequels, they're just not as good as those.
Not as good because
those pre-code ones.
They got dumbed down, just like with comic books when EC really pushed it. That's why the comics code came around, because EC Comics especially, they were pushing horror. Those comics are so gory from the 50s, and that freaked a lot of people out.
Yeah, so they changed a lot of that.
Yeah, they blamed a lot of violence on comic books, and they're still blaming violence on stuff that, well, anyway. But, but
let's read some more comments.
Yeah.
Linnea Quigley, let's not forget, she was in Thrust with me and a lot of other rad ladies. This is Rebel Ghoul talking.
Oh, cool.
And she is wonderful.
Yeah,
yes,
she is.
Linnea Quigley from Return of the Living Dead. She's
awesome.
She's a very cool actress and screen
That's why everybody likes that movie. Let's just be honest.
Oh yeah, everyone loves the movie because of
I
her.
won't mention what they like looking.
If you know, you know.
You know. Right.
You know.
and it's not. I think it's perfect. Like I think it's not done exploitively. That was done her character.
That was the character. I thought it was done very well.
And all those characters are funny. And
they're all really interesting characters in that
even
movie.
The zombies are funny.
The zombies are cool.
We need more cops.
They're eating everybody.
They get on the police radar and call for more police so they eat them. It's just like
the zombies are a little bit smarter in that one.
It was a comical take on the whole zombie genre, which I loved about it.
Yeah.
It wasn't serious at all, but it was good. Tarman, you get Tarman out of it.
Okay, so Jamie Lee Curtis.
Who?
Jamie Lee Curtis.
I never heard of her.
Come on, Grim. You know who that is.
Who is he? Oh!
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yes.
From the Halloween movies. So, very popular and famous Scream Queen. And what's even more cool is her mother was a Scream Queen. She is the daughter of Janet Leigh and Tony Curtis. Yes, and Janet Leigh was in the original Psycho in the shower scene.
She's the shower scene girl.
She's the shower girl.
Yes, everyone knows that.
Everyone knows that iconic scene, and wow.
Great movie. Psycho is a really, really good movie. Of course, duh. But, Hitchcock, that was like him at his best, that movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's just the best. Superlative.
And, okay, so yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis, she was in the Halloween series. She's been in, all the millions of Halloween sequels. Michael Myers still hasn't gotten her yet. And she's really been a fighter throughout all those movies.
Did she finally win an Oscar for Everything Everywhere All at Once?
She did, for Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh, my God.
Which is another great movie.
Oh,
that's a great movie.
It's
so weird and all over the
surreal,
place.
But that's what's great about it.
It was very entertaining.
It's like Fight Club. I never read the book, but from when I watched this movie, I had to click my mind into a certain, and I'm like, oh, okay, now I get what I'm watching.
Yeah,
and you have to just kind of go with the ride, go with the flow, go along with the ride. But once you click in, your brain clicks in, then you're like, oh, okay, I get it. It's a surreal sort of weird thing. And it's all the themes are there. It's with the Everywhere all at Once. It's all about family and love, really. Yeah,
really. For that movie in particular, it was about the family having their struggles.
Yes,
but all this wacky stuff is going on.
I love it. It's so good.
But okay, so Jamie Lee Curtis was also in The Fog. The original Fog. She was in Prom Night.
Yeah,
a lot of people liked her in Prom Night.
Terror Train.
And Terror Train.
I love
I had that written down. Yeah.
You said you never saw it.
I never saw it. I've heard good things about Terror Train, but I have not seen it yet.
I love it. There's so much to love about that movie. It is such an 80s horror movie. It's not... I think it's better than Halloween. Okay?
Really? You think it's better than Halloween?
In a way it is, because Halloween's good. Don't get me wrong. And it definitely set... a tone for movies and a precedence how to do a movie. But Terror Train is a little more fun. It's got weird people. It's got what's his name, the magician guy, not Doug Henning, not him. Oh God, I can't think. The guy looks like Neil Diamond. He's a magician.
Okay.
David. What can't I think of?
Hasselhoff.
No. Someone's gonna say it in the what's his name? Black hair, blue eyes.
David, what's his name?
Someone in the chat's already said. I can't think.
No one said it yet.
Oh, anyway. It's not Doug Henning.
Sears James says, I love Terror Train. We watch it every New Year's night at midnight.
Yeah, it's great.
David Copperfield says Gary Smith. Thank you, Gary.
David Copperfield. And and Vanity from The Prince.
Vanity was beautiful.
She was a very...
She's in the movie, too?
She's in them. She's one of the kids on
Yeah,
the
she
show.
was gorgeous.
Yeah, she's in that movie. But it's good. It's fun.
So then technically Vanity was in a horror film, too.
Yeah.
She was a horror actress, too. Cool.
Yeah, for one movie, anyway.
Yeah, one movie. Hey, that counts.
Yeah.
And then James Muscarella is saying, can we count Cleveland Margaret Hamilton as a Scream Queen? Technically, not really. It wasn't really a horror film, The Wizard of Oz. Even though it had some,
She played a witch.
She did play a witch. I mean, I don't really count that, but she was definitely an amazing actress.
Yes.
Margaret Hamilton was a treasure. She was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so moving right along. I added Sigourney Weaver to my list.
Oh.
Because even though the movie is technically sci-fi, it also can be considered horror. The Alien and Aliens movies.
That she was in, right?
That she was in, yeah.
That's a horror movie. That would be pretty scary to be, hunted by a acid for blood alien.
Because it is really scary, and there's a lot of blood and guts and gore.
The first one's really scary.
Alien gore and stuff. So, yeah, I think it could be considered a horror film. And, yeah.
What was the tagline? The tagline for the first Alien movie was, in space,
no one can hear you scream. That's right.
There you go.
So, I guess she could have been like a Scream Queen, but she was...
But no one would hear her.
No one would hear her in space.
That's right.
So, yeah, I just thought she needed to be added to that.
I agree. I think she's good.
She was also in Ghostbusters, which is a horror comedy.
I brought that up, and you didn't think that
You brought it up, and I wasn't sure if that should be considered.
I think it should.
I added that on there. Thanks to your suggestion.
It's a horror, so if horror sci-fi is okay, then horror comedy should be okay, too. Because it's a ghost movie.
Mo Fei Chen says, would you count Carolyn Monroe? She usually played sci-fi and action. She was in Captain Kronos Vampire Hunter. I think she played the girl that the vampires were trying to get or something. She had a bit part in it.
Is Dee Wallace a Scream Queen?
Yeah. Dee Wallace? She's cool.
What about Linda, what's her name from?
Linda Blair?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, Linda Blair's awesome. Yeah, she's definitely a Scream Queen and a horror film actress. She was also in a lot of 80s action movies and teenager movies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what was the one about the roller skating rink?
Oh, gosh. I have it. I have it somewhere. Yeah, we watched it. Disco movie about roller skating.
Yeah, it was a real cheesy movie, but it was fun to watch.
So funny and corny and perfect. I loved it. No horror.
Carolyn Monroe, Dracula, 1970. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh,
so she was in that one too. Okay. Yeah, Carolyn Monroe was cool. And then Rebel Ghoul says, OMG, Linda Blair literally broke her back making The Exorcist. Yeah, they put her through a lot from being a kid making that movie.
Then she dated Rick James for a while and everything was okay.
I guess so.
She got all the drugs she needed for her back.
Oh, jeez.
Super freak.
And then Sears added, Carolyn Monroe is also in Sinbad and Ray Harryhausen. That's an amazing movie. Oh. I love the Sinbad movies. That's very cool.
There's so much great in that movie.
Yeah.
It's a visual. It's such a good movie.
And Scott mentioned Sissy Spacek. Spacek from Carrie. She plays Carrie.
Scary Carrie.
Creepy Carrie.
Or whatever her name
Creepy
was.
Carrie. Creepy Carrie. Yeah, I love that movie. It's so cool.
The ending. That ending.
Woo,
got I remember being in school as a kid, and everyone that ending just freaked everyone out. The dream ending, because it just was good.
Very cool.
Freaky.
All right, Marilyn Burns from Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I don't know that one.
She plays Sally.
Oh, she's the final girl?
She's the final girl. Ah. She's a Scream Queen in the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
You can be a Scream Queen and a final girl. Yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis would be that.
Yep, she's also a final girl.
Now, what's her name from Sleepaway Camp? Was that with
Felicia Rose?
Rashad.
No,
Oh.
Felissa Rose.
Felissa Rose.
Felissa
Would
Rose.
she be
Yeah.
a scream queen or a scream queen with a ween?
Well, she's the killer, yeah.
Well, yeah.
But she deserves recognition too.
Yes.
PJ Souls, says Kevin. Yeah.
Oh.
PJ Souls is great. She's a sweetheart. I met her once at Cinema Wasteland, and she was super nice to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, Marilyn Burns plays Sally in Texas Chainsaw Massacre. She was also in the movie Eaten Alive. She was in The Return of Texas Chainsaw. So, and some other movies that I forgot to write down, and that I forgot.
Eaten Alive, huh?
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Probably not the...
I'm trying to
Watch
behave
what you
myself right
say
now.
about
I
that
can
one.
go so many places with that.
You could go many different directions
I
with
think
that
I've seen all
statement.
78 of those movies. all those volumes of Eaten Alive.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, Lord, help me.
Okay, Heather Langenkamp from the Nightmare on Elm Street series.
Oh, yeah.
She was in a bunch of them. How
Yeah.
many did they do?
300 of those movies.
Yeah. So she played Nancy Thompson.
She was in the, I know that first one. Was she in a few, the other, like, Dream Warriors?
One and three, and then I think a few others.
She was two. Nightmare on Elm Street 2 has to be.
No, not Nightmare on Elm
worst.
Street. Or no. Yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
I almost thought Freddy Krueger, but that's other
That's
people.
who that is.
Oh.
What are you talking about, man?
I'm sorry. It's late. See, you're going to laugh. Yeah. I think of the Freddy movies as the Freddy movies. I don't really call them Nightmare on Elm Street. Because for years, when I was a young little ghoul, I would... Oh, those are
Freddy Krueger.
Those are the Freddy Krueger movies. Yeah.
But nowhere in the title.
I never called it Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, but it was always Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, Part 2, Dream Warrior. It never said Nightmare Freddy Krueger, Dream Warriors. Even the show on Freddy's Nightmares, they did call it that on the TV show, the Fox show.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So yeah, she's super popular.
Mm-hmm.
And the fans love her. And she makes appearances and things like that.
I haven't seen Dream Warriors in a long time. I think that might have been my favorite my favorite Nightmare on Elm Street movie.
No, Freddy movie.
Freddy movie. It's just called a Freddy movie.
I'm
going to call them Freddy movie. Freddy Flintstone.
Freddy movies.
It could be.
Sorry, guys. I know I'm weird, right?
But we love you. We love you.
Nightmare of 42nd Street, says David Hayes. Oh, that would be a whole different movie.
Yeah.
That'd probably involve 42nd Street Pete.
Yeah. Yeah.
He has his own YouTube channel if you guys want to look him up later.
Oh my gosh, the stories in that guy.
He does a ton of different movie reviews, and he's very knowledgeable about movies.
He's got a memory like a vice.
More than I am, because I called Nightmare on Elm Street Freddy movies.
I was like, oh, you mean Nightmare? You're like, no, Freddy Krueger. Yeah. That's okay. Like, it's late.
Yeah.
That's all right. You get a pass on that. You don't get your horror
James Muscarella, good one. Okay, Barbara Steele.
Ooh, you missed Barbara Steele.
Well, no, those are just ones I wrote down, and I figured the fans would do the rest.
Every time
I was writing notes down for over an hour today. Okay.
So here's the Barbara Steele thing. In every movie, it's horribly boring, but you don't care because it's Barbara Steele.
Because it's Barbara Steele, and she has that gothic look with those big eyes.
You just stare at her. You don't even care about how boring the movie is.
Yeah, she just has such a cool look about her.
Because most of her movies take place in some,
No, some of them are cool. Like Nightmare Castle, I thought was really cool.
They're cool. Some of them are really, very. I'm just making a
no, there's some of them that are a little boring, but then there's some that I enjoy watching.
I forget. Is that Nightmare? Is that the one where? Yeah, is that the one where they kill the sister? Or her sister, remember?
Like the evil sister.
And they lock her in that tomb, and they get trapped in the vault towards the end. And
the one is like a zombie or something?
Yeah, she comes back to life. She basically kills them for killing her.
Yeah. She has like this zombie-looking face.
That reminds me of those like old comics that they used to have comic books that have stories like that in it. Everyone's all stuffy and dressed in their frillies and, giant clothing, living in a castle with no AC or anything.
Yeah.
But the whole, it's just all wordy stuff. But she is, you can just stare, Tim Burton, like that just totally set the whole goth thing,
that
right?
Goth look.
She might be the original goth.
Yeah, I'm sure Tim Burton was heavily inspired by Barbara Steele.
Well, he married Lisa Marie, who looked like her or Mila Nurmi.
Little bit, yeah.
But
all right,
craziness.
so
yeah, good stuff. Yeah, good list of there. I like that.
Yeah, I thought that'd be kind of fun to talk about, and then I know like everyone likes to add in who their favorite actress or actor are.
There's a lot we didn't.
So if there's some that I did not mention, please put them in the comments.
Absolutely.
We'd love to see what you want to to see what you want to recognize? Who you want to recognize?
Sorry, Louie.
That was a big burp.
There's a lot of pepperoni, Canadian bacon, and sausage mixed with a zesty, bold sauce from what's that, Red Baron pizza I had. And then throw rum and Coke on top of that.
Oh, boy.
You got yourself a recipe for a disaster, buddy.
Kevin says, Barbara Crampton, one of my favorites from the Reanimator.
Oh!
From Beyond Shopping Mall. Ooh, yeah, that's a good one. Castle Freak. She's still making movies and producing and writing for Fangoria. Oh, that's awesome.
She's a castle freak.
Go, Barbara.
Castle freak. She's super castly.
And then Sears says, Curse of the Crimson Altar, Barbara Steele, Boris Karloff, and Christopher Lee.
Yes.
Have it on Blu-ray. Ooh.
That's
yeah.
I don't know if I've seen that one. Did you see that?
And then,
probably.
Yeah. Neil says, Heather was attractive and a great actress.
Yeah, there's so many. Thank heaven for scary girls.
And King of Pixel Shape says, cute cat, meow. So, yeah, that's Louie, our crypt kitty.
One of the crypt kitties.
He likes to, he's also a cuddle kitty.
He's the most frequent one that comes in and hangs out with all of us.
He's the more cuddly kitty.
Look at that. I pet his eyes. I rub his little closed eyes. He likes that. Hey, buddy. Yeah.
I'm probably going to butcher your name, and I apologize. Ayala Deer says, adorable cat. I have a black cat, too, named Soot. I found him in a cemetery, funnily enough.
How you spell her name?
Ayala.
Ayala?
Ayala Deer?
Ayala.
Ayala?
Ayala.
Shelley Duvall, says Ron.
Scream Queen? What, from Shining?
From The Shining. Ooh. Yeah,
Love
that's a
Duvall.
creepy movie. And Shelley Duvall is amazing.
Yeah, in her younger days, she had that olive oil type thing. She had she had big Betty Boop eyes.
She had really big eyes, yeah. And I loved her in the Popeye movie.
Oh, Popeye.
Yeah, she looked like olive oil. She just played olive oil perfectly in that movie.
It's olive oil. Oh, olive oil.
Carol Omart, says James Muscarella.
Everyone's shouting out their favorites.
Everyone's shouting out their favorites. What was she in? Was that, it was an older movie, right?
Older movie.
What was she in? That name sounds familiar.
I don't know. I'm trying to think if there's any that I could think of that are like, Barbara Steele. Which one?
Yeah, and Sears mentioned Sissy Spacek. Yeah, we already covered that, the Carrie movie. Yeah, that movie's great.
Any of the Scream movie females in that movie? Like, was it Barrymore?
Like from the movie Scream?
Yeah.
Yeah, like Drew Barrymore. Yeah, technically she would be a Scream queen. Neve Campbell.
Yeah, Neve Campbell.
What was Patricia Arquette? Yeah. Yeah, I mean they're all great actors. Yeah.
So if you scream in a movie, you're a Scream queen?
Or get killed in the movie, or the final girl. You're the final girl and Scream queen.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Or as Homer would say, gotcha.
House on Haunted Hill. Oh, okay. So Carol Omart from House on Haunted Hill.
That old bat.
That's a good movie.
I've seen it a billion times, and I'll watch it a billion times.
We have it memorized, and I love the tagline. There will be, for one of their advertising the movie, there will be food and drink and ghosts.
Yes.
And people were taking that and using it as like a meme, like, oh, food and drink and ghosts, count me in, and
yeah, I love
stuff like that.
Riff Tracks did a live version of that for they had hosted it live one year for Halloween, I believe, but almost probably 10 years ago.
Yeah,
it is really good. To me, I'll watch that like every day if I could, just because of the riffing going on, the live audience laughing along. I just love the tone of that movie with Riff Tracks guys riffing on it in a live theater. Pretty cool. If you can look that up, I think that's free to watch on Tubi.
It might be on Tubi
on Amazon
or Amazon. Yep.
Yeah, if you have Prime. Yeah,
and then, sorry, go ahead.
No.
And then Widow Bunna, what a name.
Louis Bunna.
Elsa Lanchester played the Bride of Frankenstein. Yes, she did.
See, she
certainly did.
But she never really screamed, did she?
She did scream.
She did scream.
That's all she did in that movie. She's in the movie for like 2 minutes.
So if you go back and watch this, when you started your conversation, I was going,
Oh, yeah. That's what I thought you were, because that reminded me of Mars Attacks.
Yeah. That movie, Bride of Frankenstein, that's so,
and that was also,
ending is just hard.
And that was also a pre-code film.
We belong dead.
We belong dead.
Poor Frank. Give him a break, sister.
It was a great movie. I just wanted to see more of the bride.
Now,
I wanted to see more
that
of
movie,
her.
you know that.
I know. So hopefully it's more...
RuPaul is going to be... No.
Hey, I don't care as long as the movie's good.
Fabulous style.
Anyone could play the characters. I don't care.
I want to get creative though. Like who would play? Who's playing her?
I have no idea. I haven't looked it up yet.
Probably it might be something like that.
Yeah. Rock and Roll says Julie Adams, Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Jason Momoa is Bride of Frankenstein.
Whatever. I don't care as long as the movie's good.
Vin Diesel is. Wait a minute.
They'll probably find some way to screw it up.
You're not marrying me. That'd be good if Vin Diesel was Bride of Frankenstein. Wait a minute.
As long as the movie's entertaining, I don't care.
And who would be?
But again, they always find a way to mess things up.
The Bride of Frankenstein. Oh, who? Okay, so who did you say?
Julie Adams from Creature from the Black Lagoon. Oh yeah. She wore that swimsuit well. Yeah. She was all leg in that movie.
You could see her blue eyes in black and white somehow. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's Don't even know what she sounds like, but I know what she looks like.
David Phillips, thank you for the super chat.
What about not Bet? What's her name? Oh.
And then Karen Black, Trilogy of Terror.
Oh.
There were several people earlier that mentioned Karen Black, and I meant to bring that up. Rebel Ghoul mentioned her and a few others.
What about Rob Zombie's wife, Sherry Zombie?
Sherry Moon Zombie?
Yeah.
Well, technically, she's a horror film actress.
Right.
And we're celebrating Women in Horror Month, and there's a lot of people who like her. Yeah, so technically,
I'm trying to do more current ones, like
yeah.
Because they put her in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that's more modern. More of a modern actress.
Scream.
Contemporary. And then Rebel Ghoul says Felissa is going to be at the Mephistopheliac.
Mephistopheliac? Like Mephistopheles.
Yeah, I just shot a brief scene where I'm a hostage. Trailers are on YouTube. Oh, okay, so she's in a movie with Rebel Ghoul. So it must be like an independent film. We'll have to look into that. Very cool. Yeah, Rebel Ghoul has acted in some movies, and she's involved in the horror community.
Wait a minute.
Let's see. Jennifer Love Hewitt, says Scott. Yeah, Jennifer Love Hewitt was in I Know What You Did Last Summer.
You do? That's right.
And a few other films. Was she in Scream? I don't think she was in Scream.
I don't know. She might have popped up in one of those.
But she was in a couple of different horror films from the 90s
I'm not a big
era.
Well, they made a sequel to And I Know What You Did Last Fall. Or something like that. Or they made a sequel
I Know What You Did Last Tuesday. I don't know.
I Know What You Did in that bathroom stall at Jog Lake.
Yeah. So, all right, I think I'm
Look at you. I think you're on fire more than I am tonight.
Oh, I'm getting tired though.
Lou.
I'm getting tired. So I think we're going to sign off pretty soon here.
But that was good. I thought that was a good topic. You got people involved. It's different.
It was a fun discussion.
And it was current.
So there's a lot of great female horror film actors. There's a lot of great African-American actors. And there's a lot of great female African-American actors as well. So
Joe Rogan is the Bride of Frankenstein.
No.
What? Come on, man.
No.
Not marrying you.
Oh, boy.
Look at you.
They'll probably cast, like, who's Jenna Ortega? From, Wednesday.
Yeah.
She's super popular right now. They'll probably cast someone like that, someone newer. Like
Jennifer Lopez is the Bride of Frankenstein.
Why her?
Butt of Frankenstein. Frankenbutt.
Oh, jeez.
We put her butt back together. Ben Affleck could be Frankenstein.
Oh, James Mascarella, Adrienne Barbeau from Creepshow.
Oh,
yes, Adrienne Barbeau was
how dare we?
She's an amazing actress.
We are. I want to. I don't know.
Yes, how could we forget her?
Shame on us. Swamp Thing.
She was cool.
And Creepshow, Swamp Thing.
All right.
Vin Diesel,
and someone else mentioned Jennifer Love Hewitt. Yeah, Jennifer mentioned Jennifer Love Hewitt. Yep, she was in I Know What You Did Last Summer, and I don't remember what other films. I'd have to look it up.
Yeah.
But, if you guys like watching these little chat shows on YouTube, you can hit the like button or gently boop the like button.
Yes, please.
You don't have to smash the like button, just, a nice little click. And We love hearing the comments. If you watch the replay of this, you can comment on our YouTube later, or you can send us an email if you're watching the replay on television, because I heard some of the Harry Scary Hangovers are being reran on
Oh, my.
WRTN.
Oh, no.
So that's cool.
I mean, yeah, cool.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, like always, good night, good fright, and thanks for chatting with us. Mwah. See ya.
See you later.
Bye-bye.